Richard Cory by Edwin Arlington Robinson. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from sole to crown, clean favored and imperially slim. And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said, "Good morning," and he glittered when he walked. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought that he was everything, to make us wish that we were in his place. So on we worked, and waited for the light, and went without the meat, and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet in his head. The title really doesn't give you any room for prediction. When I read the title, I just figured I was reading a poem about some guy. It's going to be anything from, hey, this is a positive thing or this is a negative thing. It's kind of how most of the stuff goes. Turns out this one was a little bit of both. The rhyme scheme, every other sentence would rhyme, as in, so on we worked and waited for the light. And then the third sentence down in Richard Cory on one calm summer night. Kind of a neat way to do it instead of like the Dr. Seuss method where every single sentence rhymed about something. The mood of the poem really doesn't change much. It's basically real envious through the whole thing. The people are looking at him as he's a big shot. He's got everything. We're out here working, sweating, and this guy's just kind of walking around town, rich, not having to do nothing. It does change in the very last sentence when you realize that, he basically committed suicide. Yeah, which is crazy to think, but you never know what somebody's going through. I mean, you gotta be humble and kind to everyone because you never know if somebody is, on that route, and you never know if somebody's thinking that in their head. Like I said before, the reevaluation of the title would say it's positive and negative. The theme of this poem is, to me, no matter how somebody looks on the outside, you never know what they have going on the inside. You can talk to people daily, think that they're great, oh, this guy's doing this, he's doing that, he's really good, doing well for himself, but on the inside, he's alone. Say maybe his wife left him, or he had a child die that you didn't know he even had a child. People can put on a good exterior. I've done it myself. I mean, I've never been to that point where I was wanting to end it all, but you have to put on a good exterior. You have to look. You have to people feel like they can't talk to other people, so always be humble and kind. The reason I chose this poem was because of my son. In the beginning of the school year, had a friend of his, 14 years old. He went out into the woods and, shot himself. Didn't die immediately. Put him on life support. Nobody knows why. I mean, he didn't leave a note. My son doesn't know why. I mean, was friends with him, but, the kid never said, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. He just was just another fun guy to hang out with. So my son struggles daily because he doesn't know what he could have done. He doesn't know if he could have helped him. He doesn't know if he could have, did I do anything to make him feel like he needed to go that route? Which I'm sure he didn't, but, it's just when you're 14 years old, you got your whole life ahead of you. You don't think that, this 14-year-old, has got all this going on that he's not going to want to live anymore. So that's the reason I chose this poem, because this is basically the same story where a man is struggling with something internally and privately, and of course everyone else thinks that he's just great. So that's basically my analyzation of this poem. A few of the literary devices in there, the one calm summer night would be one. Richer than a king, comparing the guy to a king. Some of the he glittered when he walked. I mean, of course, he didn't glitter when he walked, but, that means that he just walked through the town and was, he was up there saying, oh, everybody's like, oh, look at him. He's just so rich and got everything and no, not a care in the world, just walking down. But yeah, that would be my video. Thank you.